Well, if you've come across my video, that means you're interested in the carnivore journey. Mine in particular is to see if I can improve or heal my ME/CFS. So a little bit of background about me, and I'm going to try and keep these videos short because I think can get a bit boring if someone goes off on a million tangents. But I got sick after a virus and a really stressful time at work about 8 years ago, and I collapsed spectacularly, and it hit my nervous system really badly, and I became bedbound, noise sensitive, light sensitive, and I basically stopped being able to function. So it gave me a host of other issues. Like, it kick-started for me, I was 44 when I got sick, and it kick-started some really severe menopausal issues. I think that they were more severe than the average person because there's something about the way I think for women that ME interacts with hormones. So it was a literally torturous experience. They've settled down a bit now, that 8 years down the track. I have tried so many things over the years to get myself better. I think I've got a list. I've got a list somewhere. I might paste my list below of things that I've tried. I mean, I'm a very tenacious person. Before getting sick, I was super extroverted, never home, always busy, studying, raising my kids, driving all over the world, working in foster care, working in mental health. I guess I fit, that's my cats, fit into the typical, I guess the typical personality type of someone who gets ME, a very high achiever and on my way places, and all of a sudden struck down and not on my way anywhere anymore. So over that last 8 years, I've tried all sorts of crazy things. Some things that have hurt me, some things that have basically done nothing. I've gone down the supplement route, and that really hasn't helped at all. I've tried every supplement in the world. And yeah, none of that's helped. So I've done different diets. I was already doing a ketogenic diet when I got sick. So I'd already been doing that for a pre-diabetic issues. And I was fairly strict with it. So I felt like I was eating optimally. I did come off it for a while to see if that would, well, I don't know. I guess I'd been on it for a while, and I just wondered if it would be good to try coming off it. Coming off it, I felt worse. So definitely ketogenic, as I think Dr. Sarah Myhill, she's a doctor that specializes in people who have ME/CFS, and she really says that the ketogenic diet is probably the best diet for someone who is sick like me. I guess that, like a lot of people, I heard about Jordan Peterson and his daughter Michaela Peterson and his wife Tammy Peterson all becoming carnivore about, I guess, probably 5 years ago. I only heard about that probably 3 years ago, and my first reaction to it was, that's insane. How on earth are you going to get your nutrients? I thought, well, we'll see how long he lasts before he ends up in hospital or dies of malnutrition. So I didn't. Then I was on Raylan Eagle's channel. So any of you who have ME probably familiar with Raylan Eagle. It's very windy here today, and I've got allergy things going on. Raylan Eagle runs an ME/CFS recovery channel, does recovery stories, and one of the ladies on there recovered doing carnivore diet, just one person that I remember. But it got me, I guess, I was in a bit of a desperate way. My marriage had ended, and just coming to terms with being sick and on my own, I guess. But leading up to that, I was doing more investigating into the carnivore diet and starting to understand it more, that it's not as extreme as I thought. I think it's a very natural way of eating. and it made a lot of sense to me. It's not something you can explain quickly to someone, because they'll all have that same reaction. People's reactions have not been great. Like, are you going to die of a big heart attack? You're just going to go out in a big stroke, and oh, that's very restrictive. You won't be able to maintain that, blah, blah, blah. So, look, I have done worse diets than this. At least I'm not hungry on this diet. I started it 4 weeks ago, so I'm 4 weeks in, and so I've got a diary here, so just bear with me, that just to remind me. So basically, I haven't had a whole lot of noticeable changes in the last 4 weeks in my energy levels, which is obviously what I want to increase, and my sense of wellness, and not feeling virusy and disgusting and completely depleted all the time. So my baseline before I started this was I would be lucky to have one okay day a week, and I never have good evenings. I'm crashing around 5 for the last 8 years. That's how it's been. No evenings. So that'll be an interesting benchmark to see if I can change that. First week I had a bit of kidney pain. I drank a lot more electrolytes, and I made sure I was flushing my body, getting the toxins out. What else? I've got interstitial cystitis, which is some sort of autoimmune thing that started when I got sick. I was going to the toilet like 10 and 20 times a night at times, and my bladder would flare up and become extremely irritated. And at one point there, I tried the Walls diet, and my bladder went crazy, and I had about 6 weeks of agony and not sleeping. And that's when I realized that my bladder issue was largely based around oxalates, which is a plant, little sharp crystal things that are inside of plants that help plants to protect themselves. But if you eat too many, they can end up they're basically a poison to our bodies. If you eat too many, they can end up in all your joints, they can end up in your bladder, your body has to store them or try and get rid of them. If it gets rid of them via the bladder, it shreds your bladder lining, and it can take a really long time to get better. Even though I did heal my bladder with aloe vera tablets from Desert Harvest, and I did manage to get it working fairly well, even when my bladder was behaving, I would be going to the toilet on average 4 to 5 times a night on a good night. On a bad night, every 20 minutes during a flare. So it was still a major problem. And in the last 4 weeks, that has completely disappeared. For the first time in 8 years, I had a night there where I didn't go to the toilet at all, one night. Now I'm going once. So the other thing that has improved is my deep sleep. So I wear a Garmin watch, and I track my sleep, and I've never been able to get more than 45 minutes, an hour tops. Now I'm averaging 90 minutes every single night. So I can't help but think, just with deep sleep, I would be getting having a lot more healing going on in my body. That has to be healing me, surely. So some nights it's even 2 hours. So I feel like unseen things are happening, and this is what happens when you go on a carnivore diet. There's all this stuff happening in your body. It's cleaning up. It's getting rid of inflammation. And clearly, even on a ketogenic diet, my bladder was still very inflamed. So it was problematic and irritable, and it could easily ruin a whole night's sleep for me, even if I wasn't in a flare. So that has been nothing short of a miracle. And just the carnivore diet for that alone, and the deep sleep, is pretty amazing. They're the main things that I've noticed. Little things like my hair seems thicker, my nails are growing faster, my hair is growing faster. Just stuff like that. Little outward signs that there's been inward healing, and it's only 4 weeks in. So the last few days I've had almost 3 good days in a row. I'd say in the last 5 days I've had 3 really good days. So it's still too early to say that's the carnivore diet, but it is pretty unusual. I mean, I was lucky to get 1 good day a fortnight. prior to doing this diet. So I think that, well, I'm actually 4.5 weeks in, so it's just literally been at week 4 that I'm feeling a little rise in my energy. Basically what I'm eating is I started out eating a bit more of a broad range, like chicken and sausages, and I guess I was at the time trying to make it a little cheaper on myself, but at the end of the day, what I was finding was sausages, I don't really like them. I'm not keen on lamb. I'm not keen on chicken, and chicken you've got to cook it till it's harder to get the fat out of chicken. The easiest thing to eat that has the most nutrition, that is also the yummiest, is just a Scotch fillet steak or a porterhouse steak. I have been able to feed myself, I'm from Australia, so I've been able to feed myself on this diet for $120 a week. Now that's what I was spending when I was eating just normal ketogenic diet. So I was getting all the variety of vegetables and all my other bits and pieces, whereas this diet, if I get the meat on special, and I usually shop between Woolies, Coles and IGA, I can get my meat itself, I can get that. I can feed myself steak, the steak that I want to eat for $80 a week. I can usually pick it up half price and I freeze it for the following week. So cost-wise, it's worth it for me to shop around, because when you do this diet, you get more in tune with your appetite, you get more in tune with your body, and my body has been sending me really clear signals that I don't feel good after eating minced meat, which is a shame because it's nice and cheap. I don't feel good after eating it. I don't know if it has a higher histamine level. I just feel yuck. I don't feel good eating sausages, lamb. I don't like the taste of it somehow. I can't eat the fat. So for me, I have 2 Scotch fillets a day. I get up in the morning and I have a tablespoon of butter in my coffee, and then I have a second coffee with another tablespoon of butter. This is while I'm waking up. And then around 9 o'clock, 8 or 9 o'clock, I have my first steak, and I fry that up in butter, and I pour the butter over the top of it. And then I don't eat again until around 2. If I'm really hungry, I'll have some scrambled eggs with lots of butter, and that's really yummy. And then I have my second steak around 2, and that's when I finish eating, and I just don't get hungry after that. I found cheese has been problematic for me, which is interesting because I never thought I had an issue with dairy. So I had a reaction to brie, which was interesting, and a reaction to Colby causing me heartburn. Heartburn's been a little bit of an issue, so I've introduced enzymes and some ox bile because I don't have a gallbladder. So I'm going to try and keep this video. I'm just aware that it's getting towards 15 minutes and I don't want it to be longer than that. But I hope I'm hoping that this video will encourage somebody else that's also got ME. There are some of us out there. I found another few people out there doing this diet and having improvements within 2 weeks, which was a bit disappointing for me because I really, apart from my bladder, of course, the main thing I want is to just not feel horrendous all the time. So that has started to happen, but for me, it's taken 4 weeks so far. And I wonder if it's the introduction of the dietary enzymes. I'm just wondering if they're helping me absorb more of the nutrients from the meat, which I can turn into energy, but I'm not sure. But that's, okay, we're nearly at 15. That is a bit about me and my journey so far, and I will do another update in another month. And hopefully another month after that. So I'd like to give this diet a good 3 months, and if I find it's working for me, I will stay on it, and possibly down the track see if I can regain a decent amount of my health back, then I might try reintroducing some different foods. But at the moment, it's just seeing if I can improve my quality of life, even if it's just 20%, even if it's 5%, it will be worth it. All right, thanks for watching.